Have you noticed something? Every time you go online, someone is flexing their wealth. Today, this guy buys a house in Miami. Next week, that woman quits her job to live off passive income. Next month, some random person is bragging that their portfolio tripled because of crypto. It feels like a competition you somehow got signed up for without even knowing it. Then you look down at your own bank account. A lot of people think getting rich takes luck. Some think you need a good starting point. But if you push all that aside and look directly at the actual data, you'll see a truth so simple it's almost annoying. Getting rich does not require genius. It does not require a privileged background. It does not require knowing the right people. All you really need is 5 steps, done in the right order, over the next 5 years. Not crypto, not luck. A system that almost nobody talks about. Because it is not sexy enough for thumbnails, not dramatic enough for clicks. But it is the only thing that actually works. And that is exactly what I'm going to share in today's video. Step 1. Increase your income. Don't start with saving most people. When they decide to get serious about becoming rich, all do the exact same thing. They open a spreadsheet. Cut out Starbucks. Cut out eating out. Cut out every enjoyable thing in life. Then they pat themselves on the back. All right, I'm seriously saving money now. 3 months later, they are still broke. Except now, they are also more miserable than before. The problem is not a lack of discipline. The problem is that they are solving the wrong equation. Trying to save money by only cutting expenses is like trying to fill a bathtub while the drain is still open. You keep pouring and pouring, but the water never rises and your arms just get tired. What you actually need is not to turn the faucet down smaller. You need to find more faucets. Here is the reality. People who switch jobs at the right time often increase their salary by 10 to 20% after just one interview. Do that twice over 5 years, and your income could look completely different. And if you learn a skill that actually has value in the market, start a side hustle outside your main job, that number can go even further. The key point here is very simple. When your income increases, everything else becomes easier. Saving becomes easier. Investing becomes easier. Paying off debt becomes faster. But if you just sit there cutting expenses without doing anything to increase your income, then no matter how disciplined you are only running faster on a treadmill, still standing in the exact same place, just more exhausted. Step 2. Don't let your brain spend the money before you even think. Let's say step 1 worked. You got a raise. Your boss nodded. HR sent the email. And the number on your paycheck got bigger. You are happy. You deserve to be happy. Then 1 month passes. You check your bank account. Wait. Where did all the money go? Everybody already knows what happened. Your salary increased, so you rented a slightly nicer apartment, bought a slightly newer car, ate at restaurants a little more often. A bunch of just a little expenses added up until everything disappeared. Psychologists even have a fancy name for this phenomenon: hedonic adaptation. But translated into normal human language, it basically means this. Your brain is extremely good at getting used to a better life, and extremely bad at appreciating what it already has. That new car, amazing for 3 months. By month 4, it is just a car. That new apartment feels incredible for half a year. After that, it is just the place where you sleep. Then you start wanting the next thing. This is the trap that becomes even easier to fall into as your income rises. The way out is not to deny yourself everything. The way out is to beat your brain before it even gets a chance to decide. The rule is very simple. Every time your salary increases, immediately move half of the extra money into an investment account. Before your brain can invent something new to spend it on. Your paycheck goes up by $1,000? $500 disappears out of sight that same day. The other $500. Spend it however you want, guilt-free. Sounds simple, right? Because it actually is simple. The problem is not that you do not know what to do. The problem is that you always wait until the end of the month to save whatever is left. And whatever is left is usually zero. Pay your future self first. Then live on the rest. Step 3. Make your money work for you. Okay. You increased your income. You stopped yourself from spending everything the moment your paycheck arrived. Now you have money sitting quietly in your account. And this is where most people make the next mistake. They leave it sitting there. Money sitting in a bank account feels safe. But in reality, it is slowly dying. Inflation eats away at it by around 3 to 4% every year, while your savings account pays less than 1%. In other words, you are paying money to hold money. Sounds ridiculous, right? Because it actually is. What you need to do is put that money to work. And this is the part that scares most people, because the moment investing gets mentioned, their brain immediately jumps to risk. Stock market crashes, losing everything, or stories from friends who got wiped out. But there is a massive difference between speculation and investing. Speculation is buying some random crypto coin at midnight because somebody on Reddit said it is about to go up 10 times. Investing is putting money into a basket of the largest companies in America and letting time do the rest. The history of the American stock market over nearly a century shows an average growth rate of around 10% per year. Not every year goes up. Some years crash hard. Some years go nowhere. But over the long term, the line keeps moving upward. Put in $1,000 every month for 5 years, and you will have contributed $60,000. With moderate growth, that number could become $70,000, $80,000 or more. Not rich overnight. But the flywheel has started spinning. And here's the most important thing about compound interest that schools never teach you. It is so slow at the beginning that it feels boring, and so fast at the end that it becomes terrifying. The first 5 years do not look impressive. But those exact 5 years are what create everything that comes after. Step 4. Build something. Even if it is small. At this point, you are already doing better than 90% of the population. Your income is increasing. Your money is no longer disappearing. You are investing consistently. But if you want to truly accelerate, there is one thing wealthy people understand very early that average people realize far too late. There are 2 types of people in this economy. Type 1. They sell time. Work 8 hours, get paid, go home. Next month, repeat the same cycle. If they stop working, the money stops too. Simple as that. Type 2. They build something once, and it keeps running even while they sleep. That sounds huge. But it does not need to be $1 million startup or some trendy app on Product Hunt. An online course that keeps selling forever. A small YouTube channel about something you already know. A newsletter with a few thousand loyal readers. A freelance service that slowly grows into a small agency. What do all those things have in common? You do the work once, and it pays you multiple times. And here is the part nobody tells you. It does not need to be big at the beginning. A passive income stream of just a few $100s a month may not sound impressive. But over 5 years, that becomes tens of thousands of dollars you did not have to trade your working hours for. And more importantly, once that wheel starts rolling, it can roll very far. The question you should ask yourself tonight is not, what should I do to become rich? It is, what do I already know that other people would gladly pay to learn? And why have I done nothing with it yet? Step 5. Stay consistent long enough for the flywheel to start turning. The first 4 steps are not complicated. You can already feel that after reading them, they make sense. There is nothing mysterious about them, nothing overly difficult. So why do most people still fail? Because of this step. Step 5. The step nobody wants to talk about because it is not sexy. There is nothing thumbnail-worthy about it, and it cannot be summarized into a cool Instagram quote. Consistency. Here is the brutal truth about compound interest. It works in a way that the human brain is not designed to tolerate. The first year, slow. The second year, still slow. By the third year, you start wondering if you are even doing the right thing. Meanwhile, people online are still flexing wealth on TikTok. Somebody else is still telling stories about crypto going up 10 times overnight. And this is the moment when most people quit. Not because they were doing it wrong, but because they quit right before everything was about to accelerate. Imagine a massive steel flywheel. At first you push it. Nothing happens. You push again. It moves a tiny bit. You keep pushing and pushing, sweating everywhere, feeling like nothing is changing. Then suddenly, it starts turning. Slowly at first, then faster. Faster, then very fast. Eventually, you no longer need to push it anymore. It moves on its own. That is exactly how wealth works. So that is the 5 steps. Nothing mysterious, nothing genius level. Increase your income. Do not spend it all immediately. Make your money work. Build something. Then stay consistent long enough for the flywheel to spin on its own. Sounds simple, right? Because it actually is simple. The hard part is not understanding it. The hard part is continuing when you do not see results immediately. While you are slowly building your future, there will still be people online standing on rented yachts, smiling at the camera, telling you they have some secret formula. And your brain will start doubting itself. Maybe I am doing this wrong. No, you are not doing it wrong. You are simply playing a longer game than they are. 5 years from today will arrive, whether you prepare for it or not. And when it does, there are only 2 types of people. The ones who look back with a smile. And the ones who look back and start watching yacht videos again. Which type you become starts today.